What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the In the Dome podcast, the Christmas edition. December 21st is officially the Christmas break for the Flames. You heard that story? Coronado's getting on a red eye tonight.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Back to New York.
Eric Francis was reporting he's going to save $500 by hopping on old red eye.
It's a pretty good deal.
Not bad.
Where's he going? Buffalo, New York, where he's from?
Going home?
Does that mean he's never signing here again?
Hey,
isn't that what everybody from the States is?
It's good timing if the Rangers blow. Maybe he won't want to go there.
Did you see the Flames like Christmas cartoon characters?
Oh yeah, that's all they've been showing for the last week.
It's the only content they have this
that
week.
And Rasmus and 4 hours of Rasmus Anderson staring at you, which they have on in the dressing room behind all the pressers. It's hilarious.
You say hilarious. I say it's highly unsettling.
Disturbing.
It's like it's creepy. It almost looks fake. I know they just played it on a loop. There's like 4-hour Yule log Rasmus Anderson fire thing you can put on your TV.
I think he blinks once.
I don't know if he does, but he's like breathing heavy. Once in a while he blinks. It's very disturbing.
There's a blink in there.
I'm going to put it up for Christmas at our house and see how many people I can scare off. I'm just going to have a Christmas all alone, but Rasmus on the TV. It'll be the saddest Christmas ever.
Ras did not like his caricature. Eh?
I thought it looked pretty good.
Did you see his? He did not like it. Did you see that?
The best one, the two creepiest ones were Huska, and they had him dressed in this creepy little creepy outfit. It was like he looks like a little demon elf or something.
Did they have him in a sweater vest?
No, they missed the sweater vest. Was the most. He didn't have a notepad either. But the other creepy one was Zeri. Holy shit!
Yeah,
I don't know if we could put it in here, but man, he looked weird.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, it was him. He kind of looks like the Chucky doll, right?
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Rasmus Anderson going, he just did not like his own caricature. It's funny because he's like, I don't know who did. He said like 12 times.
Who did this?
Well, it was Brendan Parker at the desk, and then the players sometimes walk by when they're recording something, so they just like come and say hi and like step in. So Ras did that, and like 10 times. But my head, I know I have a big head, but my eyes are not that big, and they don't look in opposite directions.
They should have done one of Bouchard, eh?
And fuck, that would have been great.
Oh man, somebody, I'm gonna go try to do this after the show and like try to do some AI Oilers like McDavid and Neckbeard and Cross-Eyed McGee. That'd be pretty funny.
And then 10 times Parker's like, I think they're AI generated.
He's still getting mad.
And Ras was like, who drew these? I don't even know if Ras knows what AI generated means. Parker's like, I think they're AI generated, but let's take a look at Coronado's. Is pretty good.
Yeah, the eyebrows, the bushy eyebrows. I like that.
I like it. Hey, it's new. It's original. I haven't seen this before. The Sharks team did a pretty good rap on Christmas inflatables. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was great. I think Huberdeau's going to have to do like a Christmas song and dance at this point. It's like Huby's Uncontrollable Christmas right now.
Huby should just not do a thing. Don't change.
This is a terrible time for a break, actually. Of course, It's happening right now. Now he's going to come back, and it's
literally on fire. Got flames come out of his butthole. I'll give him props, man. That was a nice goal. I think that was the nicest Huber to go. Actually, like a lot of times when he scores, you and I, we just laugh. Like our in-game texts together. Isn't that our typical response? We just laugh.
Yeah.
But that was an impressive goal, man. The guy fucking. Have you seen it? Have you seen him?
No.
Go wide on a defender and cut to the net like that once as a Calgary Flame? Maybe in that Ranger game, but this is. If he has done that before, I don't remember the last time he did it, and it's far and few between.
Has he skated through the neutral zone like without gliding? Have you ever seen that before? Even.
No, I was chatting with some fans after that goal, and it was just like They're like, yeah, he's moving his feet. I'm like, yeah, that's one of the biggest frustrations with Huberdeau is as soon as he gets the puck, generally his feet stop moving.
Controller disconnect. Starts gliding. It's been a big problem. Where was where was that 2 years ago there, Jonathan? Really could have used you in December last year when he had 1 point.
But it scores a beautiful goal, and then that the breakaway play, man, that was an unreal play to dish it back to Pospisil. It was the pass was a little bit too hard, I think, and maybe a tad caught Pospisil both off guard and then handcuffed him a bit. But fuck, man, that was like suck the defenders over, suck the goaltender right out, and then dish it to the Pospisil. Should have basically had an open net, but couldn't corral it. Like that's a really good playmaker's play.
Those are plays we were watching highlights from Florida of when we acquired them, and we're like, holy shit, here we go. And I've seen it like once or twice in 3 years, 2.5 years. So, hey, it's good to see. Maybe he's back. I don't fucking know.
Fuck, man. we do this every week. It's like, he's back.
He's back. He's gone. He's back. He's gone. Here's what his goal should be this year: to move himself from worst contract in NHL history status to like bad contract. If he can just kind of like incrementally step from like, hey, this is the worst deal that's ever signed to, okay, it's a bad deal to, that's not that bad of a deal. I think we can all be happy.
Well, I mean, it's like you said in the last one. You want to root for the guy, but he makes 10.5 mil, and he's still only on pace for like 58 points.
Yeah, I know. See, that's my I know, because people, anytime he scores a goal, I know people always like,
well, they come after you like, oh,
you hate him. I'm like, well, like, he's still on pace for 57, 58 points now, I guess. So,
well, look, and it's not like
I just
we're
hate
pretty
that
fair,
kind of
are we not?
dialogue. Yeah, I think we've been extremely fair.
If you're good, we give you props, and if you stink, smell like shit, we tell you about it. Like, isn't that why people listen to this thing?
The onus
the media apparently can't do it. They're not allowed to talk shit about the coach and whatnot. But sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes the coach makes boneheaded decisions, like playing Cotter with Huberdeau night after night after night in overtime.
Yeah, I know you were taking a lot of heat for this on Twitter. I don't really understand what people have a problem with saying that it's not a good idea to play those two guys in overtime together, because it never fucking works. They've been playing well together 5-on-5, but overtime is a disaster.
We were talking about how much it does not work before this week.
Yeah.
Before they got scored on in both overtimes.
Well, it's been a problem overtime this year, and a lot of the roster decisions. Because what, have they only won twice in overtime this year? I think 2 overtime wins. Like, they've had a few shootout wins, but I don't think they've only won twice in overtime. And, you see whoever's out there, it's always like, okay, this is going to be a total waste of 2 minutes. And it always is for the first guys who come over the boards. And I was complaining earlier in the season about Kadri in overtime, turning the puck over and doing all this. It's just hasn't been working. And then Coronado scores the fastest overtime goal in Flames history, and he never starts overtime anymore. I just don't understand it. That's all.
Ever again. Never to be ever.
Never. Well, and Pospisil and Zary. Well, the 2 overtime goal scorers.
Well, we've only scored twice in overtime all year.
Yeah,
right?
Zary and Pospisil.
And the only Coronado. 2 times that it worked, you're never going to try that again.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, I get it. He's putting Coronado and Backlund together still. But start them. Kadri and Huberdeau does not give you the best chance to win overtime. In fact, I think it actually gives you a better chance to lose. Maybe that is the overall game plan. I've seen some people throw that out there.
Well, yeah, it is a good balance, right? It is a good balance. As long as you're playing the kids, and I don't really have much of a problem outside of that. It's just
but
like I think the
reason why it doesn't work is your number one reason. Kadri is -17, league leading -17.
Yeah,
he's what? Is he tied for points? Point leader?
I think
Huberdeau point leader is -17
today.
Dude, your point leader is minus 17, and I don't think he's getting a lot of power play points. So,
well, that's the thing. They're a liability usually on the ice, and it was.
What does that tell you? If 5-on-5 they're defensively liability, that's just going to increase 3-on-3. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Well, and they're generally two of the slower players on the team, right? And OT is a speed game for the most part.
And you just look at how Kadri plays, like even
he's way risk reward for both of them, right?
Well, Kadri, he'll try to
risk reward for
Kadri does not pass the puck very often. He'll try to deke through the entire team, which generally leads to a lot of turnovers. Huberdeau's been better in his puck possession and puck control, but typically he's passing the puck to their team, leading to turnovers. Well, put the two of them together, it's just a matter of fucking time. And like, not only have they not scored an overtime goal all season long, even though they're getting the lion's share of overtime minutes, they're getting scored on.
Well, I think Kadri's been on the ice for 3. Huberdeau's been on the ice for 2. That would be individually. Together, they've been outscored. And I mean, they played a good game today, but they obviously played 2 games earlier this week where they lost both games in overtime. And, you know, Kadri and Huberdeau weren't very good in overtime. And this has long been a pet peeve of ours. But, you know, we were looking at some stats because some people were giving us heat saying, like, you shouldn't start those 2 guys in overtime. And I think they've been outshot. Like, what was it? Like,
no, we're saying you shouldn't, and people are like, "Why not?"
People are like, "Oh, they're 2 leading scorers. Why don't you put them out together?"
Some guy that likes to argue with me on everything. he sends me a screenshot of Huberdeau and Kadri are your top 2 scorers. Oh yeah, real boneheaded coach by the coach putting the top 2 scorers out. Have you fucking watched them 3-on-3?
Well, yeah, that's what my question is.
How about dig a little deeper under the hood, like we just did? Spend 5 minutes and actually discuss pros and cons of why they might or may not be good together. And then, I mean, I asked you to do a little digger deep, and what did you find?
Well, yeah, at overtime this year, 3-on-3, scoring chances 6-1 opposition.
Shots are 8. This is when they're together.
This is when Kadri and Huberdeau together. Shots are 8-1, and they're outscored 1-0 individually, so not playing together, or at least not on the same ice at the same time. Kadri's been outshot 15-6 in overtime, outscored. It said 2-0. I think it's 3 because he was on the ice for the Seattle, Boston, and wasn't he on the ice for the other night against Ottawa? Anyways, and Huberdeau's been outshot.
He just changed in time. But...
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and Huberdeau's been outshot 11-5.
It was still his turnover that Ottawa, I think, brought the puck down, but he was already off the ice by then.
Yeah, I just don't get the overtime usage. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, there's a lot of usages that we have a hard time with.
Well, it's been better lately, other than overtime.
We'll get into the whole Dustin Wolf, Dan Vladar thing again, unfortunately. Broken record here. But it's one of those things where as a fan, you see it plain as day. And I mean, Daryl was doing this too, where it was frustrating. We're just like, fuck, man. It hasn't worked the last 500 times. Why is it going to work tonight, Daryl? Why is Huberdeau?
Why is Lucic playing with Huberdeau going to work tonight for the 50th time? It's not. I know how this is going to go.
Regardless, they had a pretty decent week.
It's been Huberdeau's best. What stretches of flame? Probably. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Probably. He was pretty good.
Where's the stats here? So this was before tonight. Since being put together in Pittsburgh, 9 games. This was after the first period. So 9 games in 1 period. This is Flash Stevens posted this. Flash_33. Good follow on Twitter. Kadri, 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points in those 9 games in 1 period. Huberdeau, 6 goals, 6 assists, and 12 points. Now, yes, that would include the Kadri goal tonight as well. I'm not sure if they racked up any more points after the first period tonight, but
they didn't together. But Huberdeau got an assist on the Coronado goal. So
Huby's got 13 points. Safe to say he's having a better December this year.
13 times better.
Fuck. But it's funny because if you take the last 2 Decembers, is he even a point per game?
No. Well, because he had 1 point in how many games in December last year? Like 12? But he was actually okay the December prior. So, I mean, he had 13 points in 16 games in his first season, which wasn't too bad. So, I think that just lends more credence to the like pump the brakes on the he's back thing, because that December we were like, he's back, he's finally here we go, and then he stunk for the rest of the year. But they've been good.
The Pelche, moving
hey,
up to the third line with Zari they're starting to build a little bit of chemistry.
yeah,
These two,
they look great together. Is it a coincidence that Huberdeau has like taken off since his French little buddy has been called up? I don't think so.
Pelche sure loves Huberdeau.
I think we can thank Jacob Pelche single-handedly for, even though he doesn't play with them. I think that's the secret sauce right now.
Pelche knows it too. You can tell.
Oh yeah,
it's a French connection. What do you expect?
Oh yeah.
Bet365, the world's largest bet plotting platform. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Download the app today. Use code NATION when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We did pretty decent on the anytime goal scorers, did we not? Lindholm.
Lindholm, obviously. You knew Lindholm was going to score if he was playing. Eh?
Yeah, and you called Brady Tkachuk. I called Stützle, and they both set up the OT winner. So
I threw Hamonic in there for giggles, but you knew old Lindy was going to burn us.
You knew it.
And that was a very Lindholm goal too, eh?
Yeah, fluky.
Kind of fluky, a bit of kind of a play, a shot most guys wouldn't be able to even get a shot off, and he does somehow, and it ends up in the back of the net. I was surprised with some of the reaction to old Lindholm returning too. It was a bit of a mixed reaction.
We won't be doing any anytime goal scorers this week because when's the next game?
It'll be on the 28th on Saturday against the Sharks.
So they got how many days off here? They got 7 days off.
6 days off.
6 days off.
Yeah.
The Foley.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
We'll be taking it. Let's do it. Who else do they play when they come back?
Top Titty, Foley, and then they got Vegas the next game. So if Cole Schwindt's playing, you can probably get bet on a Cole Schwindt goal too.
Well, is Stone still injured?
I'm not sure.
Because I would probably put him in the Flames killer category. Would you not?
Dude, Vegas has all kinds of they have all kinds of Flames. I don't think Stone's hurt anymore. If Schwindt's playing, he's scoring. Who's the guy that always runs around against us? I guess maybe I was thinking about Marchessault.
Is Marchessault still there though?
No, he's in Nashville.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm going Schwindt, because Schwindt had like the game of his life when he played us.
I'm going Top Titty and Stone, but is Schwindt still playing? Is he?
Yeah, he's playing on their fourth line. Yeah,
line center. Yeah, well, let's do it.
The old Schwindt dog. What did he have? 2 points against us last time?
Top Titty and Schwinty or Stoney. You take your pick. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with Bet365. Okay, Lindholm return. This was one of those things where it's what's going to happen. Is he going to get booed? Is he going to get an ovation? He ended up getting what? Mostly booed, and then he got an ovation when they threw his little montage up on the video.
That's pretty much how it went down.
And yeah, it's one of those things. Like, as a fan base, you don't necessarily just have to boo people because they're on a different team. I think that's kind of like the default, is it not?
That's like the Jerry Seinfeld bit where it's like, we're booing player. Pretty much you're a fan of clothes. This is the same human being. Different shirt. Boo. It's pretty much what it is.
Man, your Seinfeld references are so on point.
Yeah. It's
always.
It's occupies a large part of my brain. It's kind of a problem. It's like 50% Seinfeld, 50% Flames. No,
bro, that's not a problem.
No real world anything. It's a bit of a problem. All I know is I put a little thank you post out on Instagram and Lindholm liked it. So
Lindholm liked it.
Props, G.
Nice. Well,
hey, we had a lot of good times with the guy.
It's one of those things. I think that I brought this up the other day. I can't remember what it was. The Fox thing. That's what it was. We're booing Fox. Yes. Never stop booing Fox ever. But as an intelligent fan base, why are you booing him? Because he kind of checked out for 30 games? But during that checkout process, he turned down a monster, reportedly a monster contract offer from Conroy, which would have just fucking set us back, man. And then how would we have got out from under that contract?
Yeah, that would have been one more to
So
add to the list.
if you're really pulling it back, like the guy did us a solid.
Huge
Even
solid.
though there was a bit of pain last season because of it, but hey, he had to play with Huberdeau. I mean,
can you really blame the guy?
So, I mean, you were a big proponent of give this guy an ovation. We shouldn't be booing. I don't mind a little booing, but that just seems like it was just a little bit of booing. It wasn't like a hardcore hate.
It was a little bit. It was kind of more like the Markstrom booing, which is kind of funny. Like every time you go to a game, you kind of forget that like we're like, you know, we live in this bubble of like hardcore Flames fans where it's like
most people lives in a bubble.
We live in a bubble.
It's moops.
Moors.
How about taking your top off? Come on.
Hey, what's the guy got to do to get some food around here? Make me a sandwich so I can shove it in your face. But we live in a bubble of like most people don't know, or like I remember we were at the New Jersey game when Markstrom came back and there's a few boos and people around us were like, what are they booing about? And they're like Markstrom, they're like, oh yeah, boo, Markstrom, boo. It's like they don't know what's going on.
I think by default you're just like you said, it's the Seinfeld thing.
Yeah.
Other
clothes. Different shirt. Boo. So that's really what it is. So I understand. But still, like he was one of the best. Like he was great for us. So it's kind of funny though. I was talking to a lot of people who are all of a sudden like.
Also, sorry to cut you off, but on that same vein, it's like we like the contract that we had him under.
Oh yeah,
when he performed, like he overperformed that contract.
Yeah,
three times over. Well, I mean, we got max value out of Elias Lindholm.
Those are the kind of contracts you should always be signing. Like between that's exactly what you want. You don't want what they were trying to do. You want what they did. They signed him at like 24, 25, $4.5 million when he's playing his best hockey and underpaid. Beautiful.
And absolutely everybody moves on. Fucking cashed in.
Yeah.
That's going to be paying dividends for plenty of years to come.
Oh yeah. That's probably one of the biggest hauls anybody's got for a UFA in recent memory. But it was kind of funny. Like I kind of used to be like the Lindholm, like I loved the guy, but everybody was, you remember back in the day, a lot of the talk was like, oh, Lindholm's the Flames' best player. Like if they're going to be signing anybody, it's Bergeron. And if they're going to be allocating money, then like don't give it to Tkachuk, don't give it to Gaudreau. You got like, it's all Lindholm. And I was like, holy fuck, pump the brakes. And I kind of became known as like this anti-Lindholm guy, which I never was, but I would have so many arguments with people about like Lindholm this, Lindholm that, and now it's like he's
you were just a Lindholm debunker. I know we would always push back on like, is he really a top line center? Is he?
Exactly.
If he wasn't playing with fucking Gaudreau and Tkachuk or Gaudreau
and Monahan in their prime,
then because that was always our thing, was like, could he drive a top line on his own? And then when Gaudreau and Tkachuk left, it was pretty evident that no, he couldn't.
Yeah, and so now I'm sitting here being like, hey, welcome back, man. And everyone's like, he sucks. I was like, I told you what was going to happen 5 years ago, and it's happened. So how have we switched positions all of a sudden? Anyways, it's just funny. Being a fan is funny. People are funny. They just, change their mind on a dime about stuff.
So the Boston game, Coronado pots another one.
Oh.
Coronado is our leading goal scorer in the last how many games? 5?
He's a leading point getter in the last 4 games, 6 points in 4 games, 2 of those being goals.
And then what's his goal total up to now this year?
He's up to 9 now because he got the one today.
Fuck, dude. He's going to catch Huberdeau with – how many less games has he played than Huberdeau?
I think he's played 29, so has he played like 6 or 7 less? He's played 29 games.
He'll probably –
oh, yeah, he'll catch him.
What's Kadri at for goals?
I think he's at 13 as well. Huberdeau and Kadri are both 13.
Coronado may not catch Kadri. We'll see. But I think he's going to catch Huby.
Hopefully he doesn't catch Kadri because he's on the Leafs, but I think he's going to catch him, man. He's shooting. Like today was one of his best games I think we've seen him play in the NHL. He was all over it. He had like 5 or 6 scoring chances. Had a heck of a game.
It's so nice to see him. And look, coming back to this, because we've been talking about it all season long. And coming back to our point of the same thing with Peltier, man. As soon as these young guys get some fucking runway, get some games under their feet, get some points under their feet, get some goals under their feet, have some games where they feel comfortable and safe enough that they can start to build a little bit. Now he's like there's no one even questioning it.
No.
He's on this roster permanently, Coronado. And I think the same can and will be said about Coronado if you're starting to see his game build too. How many points is Peltier? Did I say Peltier or Coronado?
You say Coronado, but you meant I know Peltier. You meant Peltier. Yeah.
How many points has Peltier had since in the last
little
stretch?
Last little stretch,
4 points every game.
Yeah, in the last 4 games, he's got 2. Which I thought he scored another goal, but I guess I maybe dreamed that or something.
1 goal,
or kind of wished that into existence. But he's like putting up like a half point per game, and that was early on playing like what in his first couple games he was playing 5-6 minutes a night.
Yeah.
And like you said, now that he's playing, he looks comfortable in a role. He doesn't look scared to fuck up and have to sit on the bench or sit upstairs or be sent back down. You play with him and Zeri seem to be developing a bit of chemistry. Made a sick feed to him today for that goal. That was an absolutely great play.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And all if you include Pospisil as being one of the young guys, all of those guys have contributed hugely. Hugely, is that a word? Have contributed a lot in the last little stretch. I know they haven't won a ton, but it's still been pretty good hockey to watch.
Yep, I think he is. Keep on. It's one, yeah. I don't know. Like I was fucking livid, dude.
Yeah, dude.
When he ices Huberdeau and Kadri in the Boston overtime game.
Yeah.
They eventually get scored on. First of all, like I text you, I'm like, "Okay, this is gonna be great. Let's watch this first minute of them playing defense." And sure enough, they're on the ice for 1 minute and 20 seconds, and they don't get the puck once. They're just defending the whole time. And then they get their second shift. It's like another. What did I say? It was 1 minute and 25 seconds. Was their
total waste? Yeah,
was their final shift before they get scored on. I was so fucking mad with Huska. And there's definitely both sides of fans arguing, people in agreement, people with pushback. And I talked to a couple fans and then I agree. It's just like, man, Huska is doing some really good things. He's becoming a better coach, but fuck, is he doing some stupid stuff too? And it's just one of those things. I mean, Sutter was like this too. It infuriate the fuck out of you sometimes with some of his decisions. Nick Ritchie in a fucking shootout? Season's on the line? What the fuck are you doing?
Top six Lucci, you remember that beauty for so long? And then Lucic would score and it'd be like, fuck, we got to see this for another 28 games.
Exactly. You're like, oh, great.
God,
now we're going to see it for another 5 weeks.
Just to like, at least I think maybe this is worse. With Daryl, it was like he was proving a point to be a dick. It's like sometimes you just get the feeling like Huska doesn't really know what he's doing sometimes.
That seems to be the difference.
Yeah.
And look, I get it. Huberdeau and Kadri, they lead your team in points, but take a look under the hood. They're not good 3-on-3.
Yeah.
And they're not even that good, even strength.
Well, I mean, yeah, like even that, you ripped off the last 9 games where they've been scoring, and that's great and everything. And I don't mean to be Mr. like poopy butthole over here, but I mean,
just fucking Mr. Practical. What it is.
They've been outscored, right? At 5-on-5 in that same stretch, they've been outscored 10. Well, Huberdeau's been outscored 10-7, Kadri 8-7. Like they're still getting, at 5-on-5, they're still getting beat most nights, even if they are producing points. And I mean, at the same time, right? Like what's their record been over that time span too? Like they've won now 4 games, 4 of the last 10, right? So it's like,
yep.
So it's good. Like it's nice they're playing well, but I'm not going to be like, like awesome. Like they're still getting, kind of beat a lot of the nights 5-on-5 and 3-on-3 all the time. And they're not winning a lot of games. So
they're still on pace for less than 60 points. So it's not like they're just fucking this offensive juggernaut that you have to fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, Calgary's minus 17, league leading. This is your key veteran.
Well, and that's why we were talking last week, where it's like, hey man, like if you're Craig, like play up the highlight reel, play up the highlight reel goals and like feed them to Brad and feed them across the league and be like, yo, like look it, but just don't look at the overtime turnovers. And
you got 6 days off right now. You should be calling around and see if anybody's been
Brad's gonna be in like a pizza coma for the next week. You can take advantage.
Exactly. And Huberdeau is hey, maybe there's some teams. No, 10.5 mil.
No,
that's just never happening.
Never happening.
But this is prime time. Like Calgary is on a good stretch here. Fucking be nice if you could trade him right now.
Yeah, I totally agree.
The back to the Boston
Christmas
game.
Miracle. What do you think Brad's Christmas pizza is? Pineapple, probably.
Well, didn't Boston Pizza do some sort of turkey pizza with cranberry on it and shit? Yeah, cranberry and stuffing on a pizza.
That sounds right up Brad's alley.
He probably fucking was the think tank behind that, eh?
Yeah, he was probably, while he was supposed to be working on the Kachuk contract, he was probably in the pizza, probably in the creative room at BP.
He's like
up with a new
pizza. He's like the Homer Simpson meme. He's just got the when you zoom in on it, what's going on up in his head? It's just a monkey banging cymbals together.
I know you can hear my thoughts, boy. Meow, 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 meow.
But Boston game, Coronado Calgary, Lindholm gets this goal, Lombo goes up, and you're like, how do we beat the Bruins? This is insane. And then Boston scored one, and then I text you like, we're losing this. And sure enough, we lose it. And
they played a hell of a first half of the game, and then just like a lot.
They
ran out of steam.
They can play great stretches of hockey. They just can't score.
Yeah,
and then if the goaltending isn't fucking like on point, like even tonight, that deserved to win a mirror. You posted that after the Chicago. What was it? 80-something%.
Well, Chicago, I think, outchanced them 14-7 high danger today. And I mean, in that first period, like how many great saves did Wolf have to make? He made like 3 or 4 or 5, like point blank. One on Vladar. He had to be on top of his game in the first 10 minutes.
First 3 out of 4 shots were like 10 Beller saves.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got a 5-1 lead. It ends up being 5-4. But yeah, once you look at the high danger chances, it's like Wolf won that game in the first period. That's how they ended up actually winning the game.
And I mean, they scored, so he was allowed to make a few mistakes. I don't know if you can really blame him on any of the goals, but
not really. No,
he's allowed to have a little bit of slim margin of error at least because you scored 5 finally. But yeah, most nights when they win, it really just comes down to goaltending. It really does. That's pretty much it. Like, because we're all kind of trying to think of like, hey, like how the fuck is this team in a how are they in a wild card spot? They're in the first wild card spot at Christmas.
Well,
and
there's
looking
at
all their
hockey.
Numbers.
We're recording this post game Chicago. There's still hockey to be played. I think Vancouver plays tonight too. So there might be some jockeying once it's all said and done tonight. But as of right now, they're they're in the first wild card spot again.
They're in a wild card spot with a -11 goal differential. Like there's no team in the top. Yeah, Dallas is behind them. I mean, they've played 2 less games. The +19. Vancouver is an even goal differential. Utah's got a +5 goal differential. So, you're like looking at all the stats, you're looking at all the numbers, and it's like there's no like what the hell is going on here? Like, sure, they've improved a little bit defensively over the season, but like you said, they still can't really score. Our leading scorer is on pace for 58 points. How are we in a wild card spot?
-17.
Yeah. How are we in a wild card? Oh, right. We got Wolf is 9-1-1 at home. That's why.
Yeah. So this past week, you had the Bruins, Ottawa Senators, and of course tonight the Chicago Blackhawks. You go 1-0-2, 4 out of a possible 6 points back in that first wildcard spot. And right now, we're 12th overall in the league.
That's crazy.
To me, that's mind-boggling. It might change by the end of the night with these other teams playing, but that's pretty far away from bottom 10 right now, dude. Or I don't know. 12th overall seems like it, but I guess
I don't know. It's such a
point
weird thing,
differential
dude.
might not be.
It's like last year too, where it was like they'd go on a skid and be like, "Okay, we're back in top 10 talk here." Like we're like 2.3, 4 points out of being a cellar dweller, and there's like they win a couple games where they got points in all 3 games this week. And it's like, oh, holy shit! Like we're right there again. It's just like never ends.
The only constant is the pendulum swing back and forth. So
dude, this has been the Flames thing forever. The only inconsistency is the only consistency we ever really get.
So then what are we at if we go our past
last 10 games? I think they're 4-3-3.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like right? Like that's still 6 losses and 4 wins, but
before tonight we were 17th overall. Remember I texted
so we fly up, yeah.
Forever mid 17th overall, but now so we're probably not actually that far out of bottom 10.
Yeah,
pull those numbers up.
Well, and it was kind of a funny contrast today because we're watching and we're kind of like, you know, even though you're not playing that well, you're kicking Chicago's ass on the scoreboard, and we're kind of like, man, Chicago sucks. Like this is what an actual
we're like, whoa,
bottom 5 team looks like, and then it's like, well, holy shit, they almost came back, and they outplayed us. They had double our amount of scoring chances. Was like,
if you replay that game enough times, we're losing.
And if Wolf isn't in net, you probably lose.
If good old Dan Vladar is in net, the guy that actually has the worst save percentage of all goalies in the past, we'll get to the stat certain number of years, then you're losing that game. Yeah. Chicago Blackhawks, like you said, they're dead last, dude. Them in Buffalo, and then Nashville, San Jose, and Anaheim. Those are 5 worst teams in the league. Montreal's right there. Detroit's right there. The Islanders have fallen right there. Blue Jackets are right there. We're not that far out, dude.
Yeah, I think, and again, like if you look at all the underlying numbers, right? Like if just goals for per 60 minutes, the Flames, the only team who scores less at 5-on-5 is Nashville. Shots for were kind of mid. We're 18th. Sorry, I'm sick. I'm trying not to slurp up snot the entire time, but I'm sure that's nice in your. There's nothing worse than putting in headphones and like hearing some guy with a cold. So sorry about that, but what can you do? Shots against at 5-on-5 per 60 minutes, 25th in the league. Expected goals 4 per 60. They are 26th in the league, and expected goals against per 60, right? Because everybody kind of trots out like, well, they're actually good defensively. This is using Evolving Hockey's model, but 22nd in the league. So, and that's 5-on-5. So, right, like these numbers always kind of end up bearing out the truth in the long run. So you got to think, and then of course save percentage at 5-on-5, 3rd in the whole league. So
there you go. There's your storyline.
There you go. That's why you've won 16 games this year. That's why you are in a playoff spot as we speak. That's why you're exceeding expectations a little bit.
Well, and that's why it's the ultimate head scratcher, man. You have somehow it's still a debate.
Yeah.
About which goaltender is your number 1 starter. I mean, look, we went at it hard last episode. We'll try not to cover the same points because there's a few different debates going on this past week. But Chase on Twitter, we were chatting a bit, and he's like, because I missed a bit of the Senators game. He's like, yeah, the panel's still saying, who's the number 1 going to be? There's still just a dogfight between these 2 goaltenders. There's no clear-cut number 1. No one's really, grappled that spot and taken it and got a hold of it. And you created this today. I tweeted it out, or was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Goaltender A and goaltender B. You want to go over this?
Yeah, I think absolutely we should. And this was obviously before the Chicago game. I mean, Wolf still gets the win and made a lot of saves today, so his numbers won't quite be the same. But it's just like it's not. That's right. That's the debate right now. I think there's a debate among some Flames fans where it's like, no, Vladar's played good enough that it's not a debate. It's not clear cut, which I think is insane. And then there's another segment who are like, well, it's good to like not play Wolf too much because like some bullshit about like his confidence and his like, what are you saying? What are the reasons?
You're 5 minutes into the game. He absolutely fucking robs Bedard in prime goal scoring territory where Bedard had no defender in front of him. He got to pick what spot he wanted. Wolf beats him to the task, and then followed up by that guy walks out in front, side to side. Like he made 3 unreal saves, and we're just sitting there. And if you're like, if you're following the Flames fan logic, I don't know what percentage of fan base this is, but if you're following that logic, it's like, nah, he's better off just imagining, stoning Bedard from that in tight. He's better off just imagining it. It's not. There's no value to him actually playing the actual games himself and making the actual saves. It's better to do it on the bench.
Well, when Vladar is inevitably announced as starters in games where we think Wolf should be starting, all the kind of excuses you hear are all kind of like based on what's good for everybody except Dustin Wolf.
Exactly.
Yep. It's like, okay, well, Vladar and like the team and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, what's best for Wolf?
This reason. Well, if you really think about it, if you think about this person and that person,
like people are like, oh, well, you've got to like increase. You want to trade Vladar, so you want to increase his trade value. So we're fucking benching our Calder nominee, the best goalie we've ever had since Mickey Kiprusoff, the best goalie this organization might have ever drafted ever. Probably our franchise player. Our franchise player at the current moment probably will be our franchise player for the next 10 years. We're going to sit him because, like, what? We want to, like, squeeze a 4th-round pick out of somebody for Dan Vladar? What are you talking about?
Well, and in the meantime, he's fucking letting in 8 goals?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing. It's like Vladar's not even playing that well. And I'm not sitting here saying that they should never play Dan Vladar. I like Dan Vladar. I think he's a perfectly capable backup, but he's the backup. And the fact that there still is a even discussion about that, or that the head coach is utilizing him as a one.
The head coach is not acting like he's the backup.
I think it's frustrating. And, people will say, like, well, don't you want to lose? Like, don't you want, like, we're going to lose more if Wolf's not in net. I don't really, like, obviously, I would love if the Flames had a top 5 pick, but ultimately what I want is for these young players to develop and to be the best they can be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
That's all we want. We want the team and the organization and the head coach to do what's best for Dustin Wolf.
Because that's all you can control. Because we can pretend this whole tank thing is actually conversation. Like, oh, they want to lose. They don't want to lose. I mean, Conroy, I think, did everything possible to try and ensure that they'd be a bottom 10 team this year. He traded the whole fucking team last year, right? And didn't really sign anybody in the offseason. And the only reason they're not is because of Dustin Wolf, So you can only put your thumb on the scale as much, like, right? You can't do that any more than they've done. So the point of this season is to be developing these young guys and making sure that in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, we are like fucking locked in, right? And, some of these starts that Dan Vladar is getting, you're like, okay, Wolf should be starting. That's what would be best for Wolf. So here's the thought. Here's the thought experiment.
Let's do one compared to, like, do Vladar and Wolf for each. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. So this is before today, but Vladar's save percentage 886, Wolf 913.
Hard to tell who the better goaltender's been, though.
Vladar 3.07 goals against average, Wolf 2.72.
Still not sure.
Goals saved above average, negative 5.33 Dan Vladar. Dustin Wolf plus 7.46.
Dude, is plus 7.46 like, that's gotta be top 10 in the league? Is he top 5?
Yeah, I think so. I'll take a look. But goals saved above expected, a little bit of a different stat. Negative 4.48 for Dan Vladar, plus 7.49 for Dustin Wolf.
These numbers aren't even fucking remotely close, dude. It's not even it's pretty close. It's like kind of neck and neck. Wolf's been better, but if you look at across the numbers across the board, man, he's far and away been the better goaltender. And I know people
high danger save percentage. Here's one more for you. High danger save percentage. Dan Vladar 744, Dustin Wolf 837. And I mean, here's really the ultimate one. 6 wins for Vladar. Now 10 wins for Wolf, but 9 at this time. So what's the argument, really, again?
I don't know. Some people are saying that Vladar's had the tougher opponents, which
sure, I don't know about that.
By how much? Though, if you really go down, by a point percentage, it's probably not fucking that much. And the thing is, it's like, does it really fucking matter? Like, it's the NHL.
Dustin
Wolf is currently playing in the NHL, putting up way better numbers than his counterpart. And he's actually, like, coming into tonight, he had the fucking best save percentage in the league.
Yeah, at home ice. Yeah. And I think he's obviously got the best record at home, 9-1-1. And I mean, really, if you want to talk about competition, really the best way you can do that kind of on a micro scale is look at the quality of shots against. And like we just said, his goals saved above expected, which factors in quality of shots against, is far better. And I was looking at the stats earlier. The Flames actually have played I think I mentioned this last week too. They haven't played nearly as well defensively in front of Wolf as they have in front of Vladar for whatever reason. But I had the numbers after today's game. Dustin Wolf is facing 8.15 high danger shots against per 60 compared to Dan Vladar facing 6.79. So if you want to talk about competition, like, Wolf's facing a lot more volume of dangerous shots and still outperforming him. So
that was my pushback with whoever was. Vladar has tougher opponents. Go back and look.
Like, I believe Dustin shut out the Stanley Cup champions, but okay.
Yeah, well, exactly. Didn't he shut out the Rangers too? I mean, the Rangers have been slumping, but I mean, that's what the advanced stats are for. All things equal, he's saving. I mean, who's a better goal scorer? Connor Bedard or fucking Connor Geeky on fucking whatever? Like, it's like, doesn't, like, advanced stats cut out all the fucking, confusion about it. He's making, he's saving the dangerous, way more high danger opportunities than Vladar is. It's not even close.
Yeah. And it's just frustrating. I know as a fan,
well, it's a weird thing because it's not, I don't know why it's not clear to everybody.
Yeah.
And I guess the broadcast doesn't even, the broadcast is like,
and no one seems to know.
Who could it be?
We don't know who's starting. They've both been great. One has a sub 900, and no shade on Vladar. Great. I love the guy, but one's got a sub 900 save percentage. The other one's like the top 10 goalie in the league this year. Who could it be? I don't know.
This was a good little stat pull by old Walty here on Twitter. He's fucking hilarious as well. But he tweeted today, I recently learned that Vladar has the single worst save percentage of every goalie the Flames have had since 2010 with minimum 11 games played. Where's the confusion, Michael?
There's
I don't understand it
for me.
Like, is it just because media has to toe the line with whatever the fucking coach says and thinks and does? We're never allowed to be like, yo, why are you making stupid decisions? There's no debate by who the better goaltender is and who the future is. But anyways, Walt, I'm like, is this true? So he sent me screenshots. You can go, it's on an NHL website, search Flames goaltenders. Cam Talbot actually has the best save percentage.
I loved Cam Talbot.
I know you did. Big Cam Talbot guy.
Huge Cam Talbot guy. He's still playing great.
Dustin Wolf's 10th on that list currently. Obviously, he needs to clean up his road save percentage. But then there's Dan Vladar has the worst, and he's the only goaltender with over 3. He's at a 3.07 goals against average. The only goaltender over 3. I just don't get where the confusion is. It's like a whitewashing, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense to me.
It's kind of like the coach and the organization's like, okay, everybody play along with this. We got to trick the fan base. I don't know for what reason. For what reason? I'm trying to figure it out.
And the reason why it's probably such like a sensitive subject or like not even a subject, a sensitive. What the fuck would you
Topic.
call it? I'm sick here. My brain's working at like
Topic.
13 topic. Is
Debate.
because just like we talked about last week, like we've seen the Flames do this with young players, and it's not like we were freaking out a little bit last week, but we've seen them do this before, right?
Yep.
It's like a reaction. It's like a fear reaction when something happens to you in the past, and it's like coming up again. Like we've seen them do weird things with young players and be so fucking obsessed with like veterans always get by default, you know, veterans always get playing time over young guys. We've seen that a lot from this franchise in the past 20 years. So, and it's never worked out. So,
and there seems to be like one of the other bigger arguments we touched on last week is that, oh no, they're trying to just trade him. That's why you got to play him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's ridiculous.
But someone had a great point. I can't remember who it was, but they're like, if that was really the case, because like I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, my take is that they like him.
Yeah.
Like Huska's pulling a Darryl Sutter where he's like, nice. How old's he? How old's Wolf? Oh yeah, we're going with the older guy. We're going with the older vet here.
Yeah.
And what veteran experience does he have? Really? Does Vladar have true veteran experience?
Not really. We're kind of his like first real team. He's been a backup to Markstrom for what, 3 years? 2 years?
He's last out of 17 goaltenders in stats.
Yeah.
That the Flames have employed. And if really
you're telling me I'm looking at it right now. I can't believe like even Leland Irving had a 902 save percent. Well, I guess he only played 13 games, but like Rito Barrow was even at 897. Old Dan's rocking at 893 in 87 games. Buddy.
So it's this weird thing where it's just like, I don't know, man. You and I have been
it is a weird thing.
You and I have been having it out with our own fans here for the last little bit.
Yeah, which I hate to do, but sometimes it needs to be done. And
well, sometimes you have to be the culprit. But like you said, we were going through this back when we were saying, what the hell are you doing with Tkachuk? Yeah. And plenty of other, same thing, Bennett. And
it wouldn't even be a big problem if we weren't rebuilding, right? It's like, that's my thing. It's like, why are we doing this? Enough with the easing in.
Someone made a good point, though. If it truly was about, upping Vladar's stock, wouldn't they have pulled him the other night? Instead of keeping him in there for 8 goals.
That's got to be the lowest IQ argument you hear.
People, that seems to be
the
number one argument is that
insane.
They're going to get they're trying to get a 7th round draft. Like, come on.
Sweet. Awesome. Can't wait for that. The only thing you hope is that the communication is very open to Dustin Wolf. That's really what you can only hope for. And that things are very clear to him.
And that's what we said. Don't tell us to be patient. Tell Dustin Wolf and his agency to be patient.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as if they're patient,
Yeah.
If they're patient, then I'll be patient.
Like I think one of the frustrating things for us is it's not even that like, he's played 17 games. Like, how many do you want him to play? Like, no. It's just the fact that they're splitting starts. The fact that like mentally, like if he has a bad game,
splitting starts.
Exactly. It's like Vladar is getting the preference. It's like he played 5 of 6 that 1 week. It was just ridiculous.
6,
and
9.
You got to put yourself in Wolf's shoes and think, hey, what the fuck do I have to do? Right. Like he wants to be in the net. He wants to be there. Like you think he's sitting there thinking like, you know what, this is actually good for me. Like this is a good learning experience.
Yeah, it's better for me. I get better if I just sit and watch the game on the bench.
He's taking in as much as he can when he is in that position. But you're telling me after a loss, he doesn't want to get right back in there, and you're telling me that's not beneficial for him. I think that's better for him to like, hey, yeah, we lost. You're going right. We know you're our guy. That's really the message that it sends. So.
Vladar gets a start for the Senators game. Coleman makes it 1-0. Or I can't remember.
Hey, Blake Coleman, I think his great, just sorry to interrupt you, but I think his great play is being overshadowed by like, oh, Huberdeau's been great, Kadri's been great. Fucking Blake Coleman's been absolutely great the last 4, 5, 6 games. Phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been just getting it done, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Coleman opens the scoring. The Sens in the third period go up 2-1 on a Cotter turnover, and this is what we're talking about. Turnovers, man.
Yeah,
they're bad enough 5-on-5. If you turn the puck over egregiously, if 3-on-3, you're probably going to lose the game. You're right dead, then and there. Yeah. Like it's going to be a 2-on-1 or a breakaway or some shit. Like you're in trouble. Huberdeau scores late. This is a good little power play goal. Zari down to Coronado. It's nice to see Zari actually being the main distributor on the power play now, hey?
Yeah,
that was the other thing is just like people like there's still fans like get Huberdeau off PP1, and that's what I was saying. Now that they have him parked in front of the net, the power play's been better. He's been better. He's contributing because now Zari is the guy.
He's the man, right?
Funnels through Zari now.
The Z-Dog, the pancake flipper. Have you liked this?
And they're intentionally trying to set up Coronado for a shot. Like they're doing the right things now.
I'm blown away.
Before it was just everything funnels through Huberdeau, and we're gonna just try and get the puck to Sharangovich. I remember Coronado just standing around like not doing anything.
Thumb up his ass, like I can't believe that goal counted, to be honest. The Huberdeau goal.
What was worse, that or the Coleman goal in fucking game?
Dude, that was way more of a distinct kicking motion than Blake Coleman ever made in that fucking disgusting Oilers shit that I'm still not over, by the way.
That was disaster. The least amount of kicking motion I think I've ever seen on a foot goal ever.
The only thing that was
I bet you McLean agreed with that call away.
Oh yeah, don't you remember? Oh yeah,
fucking blacked out after
pretty blatant. Pretty blatant, Carol. God damn it! I'd like to kick that whole fucking Sportsnet studio down. That's what I'd like to do. Here's a distinct kicking motion. I'm gonna, but I can't believe that counted because like Kelly was like, I was watching. Kelly's like, I don't see a kick at all, and I was like, I see a pretty distinct kick, but they threw old Huby a bone. Everything is going his way this year.
Then overtime happens. Man, was I getting into it with the fan base again after this?
Yeah,
one.
you were going hard as fuck, eh?
Well, look, it's not because I hate Huberdeau. Although, that's
sometimes that is the thing.
And it's not even that I hate him. I mean, we've talked about this. I don't hate on him to hate on him. This guy makes $10.5 million. I want to see him fucking. What would you say he's worth this season?
4 or 5, maybe.
Probably
4. I don't know. He's on pace for 60.
Maybe 4.
Maybe. If he scores 30, maybe.
I'm not talking the last month. I'm talking all season, but.
Yeah, 4.
Anyways, overtime. And I'm already pissed off because Huberdeau and Kadri to start with. And you're just like, we're going to lose this. Anyways, fucking. Huberdeau and Kadri come down. I don't know. Huberdeau's driving the net. Tkachuk gets a stick up on Huberdeau. Huberdeau elects, in my opinion, to completely try to go hard sell.
Yeah.
And embellish the fuck out of this. And this is where I got an argument. Where it's just like, people are like, oh, because you've never been on skates before. It's fucking. It's like,
yeah.
Excuse me? Like, what was it? The exact same night, people in the Flames fans were arguing. They're like, "Oh, the Chris Tanev goal, or the Leafs got scored on, but the linesman called the goal back because Chris Tanev got high sticked right before it. The high stick was worse. Did Chris Tanev fall down? Did he fall on his back, feet first, slide 8 feet into the boards, and fucking arms flailing and shit?" There's your direct comparison. It's just like, you can't tell when a guy embellishes or not.
I had people texting me being like, boy, Jordan's really on a rampage on Twitter right now.
Oh, God.
My problem with it was more like get up, like it's overtime. Like, it doesn't matter if you were high sticked or whatever. Like, you got to get up and get back in your play. And he was like, there's a screenshot of him like
it's not
on his ass whining while they're down going like, right, get up, go.
Yes, but
it's not Chris Tanev.
it's not even about that. It's too late. Like, my point is that
he took himself.
You would never see You would never see Backlund make a play like that where you're 3-on-3. Like, it's positional hockey. You can't get out of position for 3 seconds, otherwise you're probably fucked.
Yeah,
that means you're behind the play, and now it's going to be an odd man rush most likely. And the way these guys can execute in this league on 3-on-3, there's so much space. Yeah. That's why it's 3-on-3 is so exciting. You're never going to see Backlund because in your mind as a player, if you get the 3-on-3, the positional hockey, you know you can't get caught out of position. This is why I don't like Cotter and Huberdeau together. Because like Cotter doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I'm going for it. I'm going to try to get all 3 guys here.
Go watch all their shifts in overtime. Like, remember the first overtime game of the year in Seattle where Cotter just got the puck in the defensive zone, deep in the defensive zone, 3-on-3. For some reason, it pops into his mind to, you know what? I'm going to dangle this guy for absolutely no. I'm going to toe drag, dangle this guy. Oh, shit. I lost it. It's in the net. Whoops.
So, great example. If that's why you can't try and beat guys one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like, you have to wait for your opportunities. You have to create your ice. You have to do delays. You have to bring the puck back. So that's why I don't like these two to begin with, because they're already problematic enough as it is. Cotter trying to go through the whole team, turning the puck over. Huberdeau's been better at this, but same thing, just like passing the puck to their team. So you already know you can't get out of position. So to hard sell, did he put himself out of position on that?
It would have been right out of my ass, man.
Dude, he slid like 10 feet. And I'm sorry, but as soon as you see this, flailing your arms in the air, that's embellishing.
Yeah.
Getting a little like whack right here doesn't make you go like this. And the flop right on your back.
Did he lose a tooth?
I don't think. And then kick your legs up. I don't know, man. Then everybody was like, oh, fuck. Post game, he has a little bit of a red mark here. Oh, there's blood. Should have been 4 minutes.
Blood?
Dude. You can see him complaining to the ref after the goal. There's nothing on his face. What did I tweet? I said, I've had pimples look worse than that. And look, you and I, we like the game hard. We like the game on the rough side of things. We like greasy goals, like that game by Possible. So tonight,
yeah,
sign me the fuck up, man.
Yeah,
like I
of that.
Love that.
Make it a riot every night, please.
The last thing I want to be is like the Oilers and just fucking
the
diving and flipping and flopping and blaming and fucking shut up. It doesn't matter if you get high stick. Like, you can just sell it with your head back, but don't get off your feet. You just brought yourself out of the play and the team came back and scored. You need to know that you can't, like, if you don't do the sell job properly. And look, let's be honest, refs aren't that great half the time.
Especially in overtime.
So the likelihood of getting a call, especially when you do this, like, he didn't even do a good job of selling it. He to me, he looked like he embellished it. And that's probably why the ref was like, I'm not going to call this. Plus, it was a sneaky little high stick, too. I don't think the ref could have seen it.
Yeah, I mean, Brady knows what he's doing there.
That's like one of those things. You got to take your lump, man. Like, Chris Tanev gets high sticked, doesn't even phase him, continues playing.
Well, yeah.
But he was waiting, so the linesman called it.
Exactly.
Was he complaining? No. He did. Did he go down and no? He kept defending.
I feel like this was
to drop. Dropping to your feet and knees and back is a decision. Your knees don't buckle by getting like a little stick to the side of the face like that.
I feel like we're definitely influenced by our love for like Rock'em Sock'em and Don. I feel like there was definitely Don used to make a point. I don't remember unless this is just in my brain. But if there was one guy in the Leafs who like would get high sticked and like and do that all the time, and then he was like compare to I don't know. One obviously was like a good Canadian boy who would get it right in the chops and like not even flinch. I think it was when he was actually, you know what? I remember what it was. He was beaking Crosby for diving all over the place in his rookie year. It was like he got a high stick and he's like, oh, and he falls to the ground. And then it was like, look at this other good Canadian boy. He gets one right in the face and just like doesn't even flinch.
Well, dude, how about Tom Wilson like last week? Do you see this?
Oh yeah.
Takes a fucking a slap shot to the face. Do you see his interview?
His
face was like
he looked like that thing from the Goonies. He's
yes,
you're going to come home with me.
You're right. That troll in the cave.
Yeah.
Fuck. But that's why I love Connor Garland. And that's why I love guys like Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson's like, he's doing an interview and he hasn't even seen it yet. And he's like, oh shit, I'm getting a look at it right now. It looks pretty bad, doesn't it? It's like fucking out the ear. Like, sign me up for that, please.
Yeah.
I don't want guys flipping and flopping and losing us games. Like, imagine that was a playoff game.
Yeah.
Imagine it was a playoff game. It wasn't 5-3, but call it a similar situation where because you chose to take yourself out of the play and it didn't work, you lost the game.
I don't think we need to be worried about playoff games.
I just don't like right now. I just don't like that shit, man. And I don't know. Do you think it was embellishment?
Yeah, I don't think he like dove, but he's obviously. My problem was more like get the fuck up and get back in the play, which is
it's too late. That's why I don't. That's why I didn't like it to begin with.
Yeah,
like you need to know you can't. If you do that, you're all in.
Yeah,
you're all in. So you're putting your team down 3-on-2. So you better sure as shit hope they make the call. That's the real reason why he was complaining after is because he blew the fucking game.
He knew. Yeah. Hopefully Razzie gave it to him after the game. If you watch this week of the chase, dude, Rasmus doesn't freaking hold back with the guys in the dressing room, eh? He's like, well, he was like kind of doing it in a joking way, but he's busting Backlund's balls about never being able to win a face-off. So you never win the draw. He's like, I can't help you if you don't win the draw. And Backlund's like, I win draws enough. He's like, you never win the draw. I can't help you because you never win the draw. And then another part, him and Kadri are like looking at a play on an iPad, and Rasmus is like, why do you keep? He's like ripping him for turning the puck over at the blue line all the time. He's like, what are you doing? You're trying to go through 3 guys there at the blue line. That's no good. You do that all the time.
Good.
It's fucking awesome.
Fuck. This is kind of like us. Just fucking tell it like it is. Like, fuck.
Good old Rasmus.
Anyways, Huberdeau's been playing better lately. Again, props to him tonight. Great fucking goal. Great play to set up Pospisil. The thing I like best about Huberdeau's goal tonight is, hey, maybe that little high stick and maybe he slept on it. Because he drove that to the net today with such speed and fearlessness.
And he makes a hard play there. He got
desire,
2 guys all over him.
And like he willed the fuck. Like, yes. That's what I want to see.
You know what? I think that's hits on why most people are ultimately frustrated with him is because you go back and watch his old highlights in Florida, and it's not just that he was like making amazing plays. There are some like really like, he's emoting a lot. He's like, looks like he's working his balls off, right? And I remember that one game in New York after his agent tweeted where he looked like he was shot out of a fucking cannon. We were like, oh, yes. Where's this motherfucker been? Right?
Could you tweet a little more often?
You don't see that enough where it's like he's on, like he's got a fucking torture under his ass.
Well, and then he fucking spent, the last third of the first season moping and then blamed everything on Darryl. It's just like...
I think Darryl knew what he was doing, trying to light a fire under his ass.
Yeah.
So get somebody put a torch to this guy's butthole, because wouldn't it be sweet? Like you said, if he could have a Matt Station resurrection,
just light
totally redeem himself.
Just light the old blowtorch, eh? Start from far away and come slow. Just a slow burn.
Exactly.
All right, Chicago tonight. Touched on a few of these, like Pospisil was fucking outstanding.
Dude, he was absolutely awesome. That's what you want to see from Pospisil.
And
that's what you want when you come to the Dome every night. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want, right?
some of the broadcasting covering the Chicago Blackhawks, my God, dude.
Yo, dude, what is in the one? They got their panties in a bunch.
Holy shit.
That was crazy. They were like all whining all over Twitter. I'm like, oh, Pospisil almost killed Bedard.
Blatant elbow to the face, to the jaw. You freeze frame it. It's like his elbow is like literally at where his logo is. His elbow's like this. It's like tight. It's like as a wing. It's not even flared. It's nothing. So it's like it's not a blatant. It's not. It's a blatant clean hit.
Blatant about it. Yeah.
And then when he steamrolled that guy, the guy was maybe fishing for the puck. Then like, that's a clean hit too.
Yeah, that was
no elbow, not even high, no hit to the head, just a fucking freight train,
freaking wrecking ball.
That was cool. Pahal coming in there and
yeah, that was sick. Yeah, more of that. I love that. I love that shit. Yeah. I want more of that. Like, remember the first game of the season where it was like, yeah, fuck you. That's really what we've wanted to see a lot. And I want to see more of that, where the Flames just play with a fuck you mentality and like,
I don't want to see
we're going to kill you.
I don't want to see guys embellishing and sliding 10 feet into the boards of 3-on-3 overtime. I want to see more of this.
Pahal and Pospisil both with 4 hits each tonight. They probably had more. That was just what was recorded.
Yeah, it's good to see. You think Pospisil's games coming back around or what?
Oh, absolutely, dude. I think it was always fine, and they were being really fucking lame about everything.
Well, he was getting benched and fucking...
Yeah, he was like getting benched. He was getting demoted. He's sitting on the bench the entire third period. Everybody's like, oh, he's got a lot to think about. He took 2 penalties this week. He's got a lot to think about. That piece of shit. It's like, just leave him alone and let him play. And he's been way better. And then they broke up again, like the Huberdeau thing. Like, he started the season pretty strong with Pospisil, and then they broke him up for fucking 10 weeks. And now everyone's like, oh, Huberdeau and Kadri are playing together. And I'm sitting here looking at like, well, I think Pospisil might be the X factor that's actually like, making things click for everybody.
There's Coronado snipe tonight.
Fuck, that was sick. I don't know which one. This one was probably sicker than the one in Boston. I don't know. Both really sick snipes. Man, dude, this kid's a stud.
Absolutely. Natural God-given goal-scoring talent, man. It's
God-given facial hair and God-given scoring talent.
Okay, anything else hockey-related, just game to game over the weeks, or the last week?
The one cool stat I did want to mention was Wolf's shutouts. So Eddie Mack tweeted this.
Yeah, this is neat.
This is sick. Fun one for Flames facts. So Eddie Mack at EdIABLOM. I put it on our Instagram. I think you retweeted too. Both of Dustin Wolf's shutouts this year have been on the night of a full moon. That's insane.
And he's a Wolf.
Dude, that shit's wild. 9-1-1 at home.
Or pun intended.
9-1-1 at home. I guess the one other notable piece of news is that Braden Pahal signed a 2-year deal this week.
Yep. For fuck all too, right? Was it $1 million or something?
Dick All's like 1.8, a little over 1. It was a weird cap hit. It was one of those weird ones. Like 1.85 something. Which is kind of, it always cracks me up when they negotiate deals like that. It's like, okay, like what was the like? It was 1.19. It's like, what?
Someone's like into numerology or some auspicious shit.
Who's doing that? It's like, you're like so weird. It's like, okay, this is the best one ever. The Flames had Ian White. I think it was Ian White. And this is when Daryl was GM.
Yeah, it was like 777 or some shit, right?
Yeah. So Daryl, like, I think they went to arbitration. And just to be a total dick, I think Daryl signed him for like $5 less than I think what he was awarded in arbitration or something ridiculous. It was $5 less of $3 million. It was literally $5. Incredible. Fuck, Daryl's the best. $5. What a dick. It was probably the ask was $3 million exactly. And Daryl's like, how about 2,999,9995?
Love it. All right.
One thing.
Go ahead.
I'll mention this at the end. I just want to say Katie Gaudreau made a nice post. I'll mention it at the end.
Okay, let's get into some prospectics so we can whip through some Christmas wishes here.
So, dude, fucking Luke Misa is like I get his point streak ended last night, but dude, this kid is absolutely on fire in the NHL. 16-game point streak came to an end last night. 16 games with a point for Luke Misa. He's now 8th in OHL scoring with 21 goals and 48 points in 32 games. The kid is on fire.
Wow. Luke Misa.
On fire.
So Mississauga Steelheads, did they change?
Misa.
You know that Misa guy? I think I just killed her. So the Mississauga Steelheads, did they move to Brampton?
Yeah, they're Brampton now. They're Sean Monahan. Maybe they can visit Sean Monahan Park.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. You know he's fucking probably visualizing there every day. Goes for a walk.
Boy, it'd sure be nice to be able to draft his brother Michael, who is leading the OHL in scoring. But at this rate, we're gonna be
I want to get some siblings like the Hughes bros.
Like the Hughes, I know, that's sweet. I remember when we had the Hamilton brothers. That was cool. Except they kind of threw a fit.
But in this situation, they're like both studs.
Brothers.
Both studs. How about the Ritchie brothers? Eh?
Yeah, we need the Ritchie brothers. Oh my!
Just put it on the foil in between periods.
Oh, I can't believe that happened. The Ritchie saga is a dark time in Flame. I mean, even though there was a lot of good stuff going on, man, we watched a lot of Brett Ritchie and a lot of Nick Ritchie, way more than anyone ever should have to.
So, in case you forgot, Luke Misa was 5th round draft picked 150th overall, and right after this draft, we were talking on the pod how a lot of people were considering this as a steal, getting on this late.
Dude, and 5th round.
He is fucking going off right now.
Yeah, he's been freaking amazing.
He's on pace for over 100 points.
Yeah. Kind of. Is that good? I think that's pretty good. The other guy I did want to mention that I kind of forgot about. You asked me about him last episode, and I hadn't really looked into it. Andrew Bashas, it's returning to play with Medicine Hat from injury, has 7 points in 5 games. The Tigers are coming to I think they're playing the Hitmen on the 29th. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the game because we have to do the post game for the Flames game that day.
Afterburner.
But if you want to go see Andrew Basha, I think they're coming to town soon, and I would recommend it because that kid is awesome. And then the other one, a bit of a Wranglers. We always got to throw in a pull for Rory Cairns. He's still leading the league in goals, 19 goals, 2nd in points. He's been great. And also William Stromgren matched his goal total from last year yesterday. He's got 7, took him 40 less games to do it. So he's playing well and looking pretty strong. Nice.
Okay. All right, man. This is just to have poke a little fun at the guys, eh? Some Christmas wishes. Let's start from the top. What's Husk going on for Christmas? Plugs, a wig,
Rogaine. What does he shine his bald head with? Some sort of oil, some sort of shining oil. Probably a new sweater vest and a new notebook.
Probably what he really needs though is an analytics course, eh? Instead of just going, my top 2 scorers should be
top 2 scorers, goalies 28. Yeah. So we'll give him a nice, that'll be a stocking stuffer, is the analytics book. And then I think under the tree, a new sweater vest and a notepad.
Yeah, he's probably got a whole closet full of those sweater vests. I don't know if he needs another one of those.
Yeah.
All right, who should we go next? Rass Anderson. What's under the Christmas tree for Rass?
This old fat Rass. When's he eligible for a contract extension? How about a $70 million?
How about he just has like
some fudge,
something to help him work on his stare downs. He's just blow up dolls of random fans, or he's just in each room of his house and he's staring down as he's walking around the house. And I don't know.
What's I don't know. I always make fun of him. Maybe some younger fans don't remember that when he came to camp the first time, he was fat. And True Living had to give him a like scold him and be like, "You're way too fat. You got to go lose weight." Like he showed up way out of shape.
If True Living's calling you fat, then you're fat.
Brad's just look.
True Living's like, even I wouldn't have eaten that many pizzas, Ras.
A pizza, a 24 pizza delivered for Brad, Mr. Tree. You just got watch your nutrition. He's come a long way, old Rasmus.
All right, Weegsy. What's in the stocking for Weegsy?
A nice
Put you on the spot here.
A nice little foot rub.
We're just freestyling. Foot rub.
He freaking blocked a shot in Ottawa, and his foot was all fucked up. And he's been falling down a lot lately. And I think have you noticed that? It's been weird. He's been wiping out all over the ice. Every time I look at, he's like freaking. Remember when was it Manji or Kachuk always just used to fall down all the time? He's doing that again.
Fuck, Manji had a nice goal the other night. Eh?
Oh, that was sick, eh?
And he was it Brody he danced around? Oh,
no, it was well, yeah, it was Brody maybe.
Yeah, it was Brody.
Old Manji.
Okay, Weegsy gets a foot rub with a happy ending.
Not from me, but like from someone.
No, obviously not. Yeah. All right. Any no more notable? I guess Kevin Ball's kind of a notable defenseman. Eh?
Dude, I don't know anything about him. He's scary. That's what I know. Like I haven't even really heard him speak or do anything other than look like really intimidating.
He just needs like when you're growing up in the 90s, you set something up in your garage so you can practice your howies. And just probably just a big net for his home garage so he can practice his howies at home. Just blasting it.
Yeah.
Okay, Zari, some skilled line mates maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I mean Pelche is like a maybe an answer to his Christmas wish, but Igor's been freaking. What is with Igor? Is he down in the dumps? Is he spending too much time playing Lego? What's going on here?
Streaky, right?
I think we need to take this. I think we need to take this man's Lego away from him and get him back to focusing on hockey. What's going on here?
Did you see Rat? Oh, you didn't watch that, but Ras calls him Legor.
Legor? Oh, I like that.
Instead of Igor, Legor.
Well, regardless, maybe he should play less. He's going to be like, remember when everybody was obsessed with remember when everyone was mad at Patrick Laine for playing Fortnite? It was like, oh, it's ruining his hockey career. It's like, that's what we're going to have to have an intervention with Igor over his Lego.
Yo, did you see this? Like, I don't know, but he's fucking been good in Montreal.
No, he's been great. He had a hat trick the other night.
And apparently there's some more shit coming out about when he was with the Jets. Like they're hazing him or something. They were putting his equipment in the shower or some shit. You see this?
Oh, jeez. Dude, there was some fucked up shit going on with the Jets. Like, remember there was that whole leadership split with Wheeler and Scheifele. Yeah, it was not a great situation.
There was some weird shit. I think they're bullying Leininger. I don't know,
Well, I remember I'm like making light of his video game thing, but everybody was obsessed with it. It was weird. It was like the guy just likes gaming. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's ruining his hockey career." And the story was he'd buy a new TV every time he'd go on the road. It's great. So maybe we need to take Igor. Maybe we need to scold Igor though and take his Lego away, or maybe he needs more Lego. I don't know.
So Lego. Less or more Lego
depending on the situation. Why don't they make a fucking Lego Huberdeau?
just a trip back to Montreal, eh?
Huberdeau just wants all he wants. A one-way trip. All he wants is to play well enough that Bill Zito will trade back for him and tell him he loves him and tell him that he's good enough. And tell him that he's worthy. Those dumb, stupid, white chicks who do affirmations and stuff. And it's you're enough. And shit like that. That's like Huberdeau. It's he watches them trade him and win a cup. He just needs a white bitch retreat or something to be you're enough, Jonathan. You're enough.
Did you see this? I think it was it Lomberg? No. It was an NHL thing, but they were asking players what the strangest pregame
I did see this. Yeah, and they said
work?
Huberdeau and Barkov used to like. What did they do?
After the morning like meetings, they would pour Red Bull on each other's heads.
Yeah, like get on their knees and like dump Red Bull on each other's heads. What the fuck kind of witch magic is that?
Dude,
And is that what's happening? Is Huberdeau doing that again now? Has he found somebody weird in the dressing room who can do that with him? Maybe that's what's going on. He's playing well.
Who the fuck knows, eh?
That was
All
pretty
right,
weird, though.
some sort of maybe some sort of French food or French gift.
Or just ticket to the trip to the beach.
One way trip to Montreal. Eh?
A Matthew Tkachuk punching bag. A punching bag with Matthew Tkachuk's face on it.
A little one of those push pin dolls with
Matthew Tkachuk doll, just like you stole my life.
A voodoo doll. You stole my life. Okay, Kadri.
Oh man. Remember when he bought all the guys' winter coats?
What?
Like big Gore-Tex. Kadri did this. He bought
Gore-Tex.
Last year he bought everybody a big Gore-Tex coat.
The George Costanza size Gore-Tex, or were they knocking bottles Gore-Tex over in the liquor store?
I don't really know much about Kadri personally. I know his kitty is cute. Jazzy right. Kadri.
Boss whistle.
Ooh. Okay, have you seen? Okay, so Uyghur again on the chase this week.
By the way, we're just doing this off the cuff. This is freestyle, so if we're butchering a few of these, give us a break.
I don't know what the fuck Kadri wants for Christmas. What does he want for Christmas? Probably wants like what is a guy like Nazem? What do you buy the man who has freaking everything? You know what he wants? He wants a trade to Toronto so he can go win the cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we want their nice shiny first round pick and best prospect. That's what we want.
That's what Brad wants.
Pospisil. Piss missile is what the guys call him. Confirmed. Uyghur called him piss missile in the dressing room. It's fucking awesome.
Fuck, was he great tonight?
He was so good. Pospisil, what does he want? He wants to freaking piss off. Okay, he's pissed off the Blackhawks fan base. He pissed off the Bruins fan base last year. I think 32 of all 32 NHL teams piss all of them off. I think that would make him pretty happy.
It's funny because he literally pisses other fan bases off.
Yeah.
Like there's I was seeing death threats again today.
Dude, people are going off on Twitter today.
Like he just triggers random fans that are just like, kill him.
Remember in Seattle, like first was that?
Yeah, it was Seattle.
Everything blends together. Was that this year?
Like he's the cheapest motherfucker. And it's like, actually, those are clean hits. Like,
those are great hits.
Boston last year, but fuck.
Old Posby.
Posby, one of my faves. All right, let's get a couple more down here. Backs. Probably a gift certificate to Henry Rosen, eh? I saw him there once. Harry Rosen?
Harry, I think.
Is it Harry Rosen? I was doing FedEx back in the day, delivering parcels, and I saw him shopping at Harry Rosen. It's like a rookie year or something.
We were literally out. This is unrelated and nobody gives a shit, but we were gonna go to we were doing something on Friday night, and we're like, we should go to Mercado afterwards, where Johnny used to like to go. This was the night before the Panthers played the Flames. And we're like, we're gonna go, and then we didn't go. And then we found out Tkachuk was there. I was so pissed off. I could have bothered Matthew Tkachuk during dinner. Fuck.
Would you have
Backlund? I don't know. No, we didn't do anything.
You probably would have been all fanboyed like.
Oh, dude, it would have been terrible. Hi, Mr. Tkachuk. Pissed my pants.
We'll just walk away.
Piss myself and walk away.
Coleman. What is Coleman?
No, Coleman.
Something Western,
haircut, maybe.
Something Western.
Just a good steak or some shit. I don't know. He needs a haircut, is what I'll say. He looks a bit. I don't know. I kind of like the hockey hair, but what the fuck does Blake Coleman want? I don't know. These are good guys, and I'm trying to make fun of them, and I really can't. I can make fun of like Huberdeau and stuff. Not that he's not a good guy, but Coleman, how do you make fun of that guy? He's like the all-American, perfect family, perfect guy.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on the broadcast today. Eh? Ryan Leslie's like, this guy's got everything. He's got it made. He's handsome. He's good looking. His hair is off the charts. He's got two beautiful daughters, beautiful wife. You seen his house?
Maybe they'll invite me over for Christmas. Maybe they can adopt me.
Okay, let's do one more. Who are we doing? Lombo. What's Lombo?
I don't know. Is there a new P90X out?
P90X? What's that?
Buddy, it's like a workout thing. He just wants to get beezed over the summer.
He wants a Bowflex.
Dude, he just wants a whole new gym to just like absolutely fucking annihilate.
He wants not an at-home gym, but an at-car gym, so he can work out in the car while he's driving.
In the car. Yeah, he needs a self-driving car so he can pump up in the car on the way to the rink.
Steering wheel that's like doesn't have the what was it's the automatic steering, and you just gotta fucking
steering. Just like you just gotta actually move the whole car, just like get a huge bicep pump. Fuck. The chase was good this week. Watch it if you haven't watched it, because there was like right after he got the shit beat out of him by Olivier in Columbus. Yeah. And he comes in the room and he's just like jacked and like the shit beat out of him, and he's just like, where's my jersey? It was great.
Fucking right. All right, Matt, you wanted to wrap things up with
yeah. I just wanted to read this because, obviously the Gaudreau night was pretty emotional and great, and Katie tagged us in the post even, which was pretty cool. So I just wanted to read. She just wrote a little, I don't know if she put it on Twitter, she put it on Instagram. It was just a note to Flames fans so we can kind of end the show. We don't usually do anything too emotional, but so Katie just says, you probably saw this. Since late September, I've been waiting for this weekend, the weekend where the best, I'm going to fucking cry reading this, dude. The weekend where the best city in the world would hold Papa, Hockey, and Mama G. I will thank you forever and ever and everything you've done for our family. It's the best city in the world. Oh, fuck, dude. To the fans, the owners, the coaches, management, players, Flames Foundation, and families, thank you. Thank you for giving us a week that we felt more love than we ever could have imagined. This truly is the best city in the world. I'm so thankful that Noah and Johnny could experience the city that made their daddy a superstar. Oh, man. I'll never have enough words to tell this city and organization how much we love them. The morning we were leaving, I was so upset because I wasn't ready to leave Calgary. I felt like the entire time we were wrapped in a blanket full of love and support, so thank you. Please know from the bottom of our hearts we have and always will love the Sea of Red. I hope Johnny Hockey is forever chanted in this city, and one day when Calgary has the 2042 first-round draft pick, baby Johnny will take over the name with the Sea of Red. Planning our next trip in June for the final stretch of the Red Mile. Katie Gaudreau.
Fucking awesome.
God bless that family.
Yes, 100 times over. Good way to end it. We'll see everybody after. We're going to take a week off, eh?
Yeah. We'll be on Afterburner on the 29th, but we'll see you probably at that point.
All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, all you filthy animals.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.